Hello and welcome to this Backwards Compatible podcast. Today we're going to be looking at Silk #1 from Marvel Comics. This book is written by Robbie Thompson with art by Stacey Lee and colours by Ian Herring. Now, as you may be able to see from the cover and from the artwork going on, Silk is a creation from the Spider-Verse. So the Spider-Verse in its latest iteration was an event from Marvel created by Dan Slott. It's still going on, but it really is been a great little series. I think Dan Slott for me is just an amazing writer with his work on Silver Surfer, but you know, also you can't ever knock the man's work on Spider-Man. His Superior Spider-Man was probably one of the best comics I think of the last few years, so definitely worth picking up if you haven't seen it yet. But anyway, back to Silk. So this is a story about obviously Peter Parker. Everyone knows his origin story. He was bitten by the spider, blah 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 blah. But what a lot of people don't know is that there was also another person there who got bitten. Her name is Cindy Moon. Now Cindy Moon has had a bit of a strange upbringing. Weird things have happened, and a lot of that is alluded to in this issue. It's definitely an origin issue. It gives you lots of ideas about how she become Silk, even though it doesn't actually show the bite, but you know, we're just going to have to assume that we know that. But it really does show a lot about her relationships, and I think that's the key thing about this book. It shows her relationships with the world, but also with other people, namely a certain wall crawler, her parents, and J. Jonah Jameson, which is quite cool. So the great thing is that for all those different relationships, her character starts to wing out. She's trying to find her place in the world and find her place within her suit, which is quite an interesting proposition, I think. So for me, I do think that this is a strong issue. Whether Silk's going to have the strength to take on Spider-Gwen, which is probably one of my favourite comics of last year, the Jason Latour created book, I do feel that they're going to be almost taking up some part of the Marvel Spider-Man universe, if that makes sense. But I'm quite happy, I think, to read both. I think that, but I do feel that they will, for people who don't quite get as much, don't quite get as many comics as I get, probably the best way to say it. I think there will be quite a little bit of competition between the two. But for me, this first issue is strong. So if you're a new reader, please don't be afraid, because it really is a good read. But for people who are a bit more au fait with the universe, it may be a little slow, but I think that this groundwork really needs to be done, and Robbie Thompson really does seem to have done the work pretty well. So Silk, definitely one, if you've got a chance to read it, definitely something to read. And it's from Marvel Comics, and it came out today, which is the 18th of February. So do take care, and thank you very much, and good night.